nice frame rate when...
So it's called the chronosphere, and the steak is actually from an animal that lives just outside of the event horizon of a black hole, called a gravity bison.
Will McDaniel. Oh shit.
I'll show you. So this
What is this nigga?
this does is it effectively stabilizes the steak. Time passing on, and since these bison live their entire
Oh,
lives,
like he's scared, yo.
steak is exposed to our time period, we can actually edit it.
Yo, what's up?
So this just proves that our Chrome steak is legit.
What the fuck?
Of the origin, which is the black hole with the forces
Shite.
to the sun.
What the fuck was that?
And then the breeding gender is a gravity bison, male.
Hell no.
I also can't read. Slaughterhouse is Rungu FK. It has a seal of approval by the club and has been signed by Strabo Blunt, the senior beef trader. Okay, so that's the case, and let's open it. So as you can see, this light is currently red.
Ooh, shaking me boots. Fuck it, I'm going back.
Opening when light is red risks instant time breach and local temporal annihilation in a 1 mile radius. So we're going to try and avoid that, but what we're going to do next is we're going to open this.
I'm going full 20 players, yo. Let's go.
So now the light is green, the time stasis equipment should be off, and the case safe to open. Fingers crossed we don't get temporally annihilated. And here is the chrono steak. And the steak is in yet another layer of time protected cooling, just to keep it safe from the average of our time field.
Blah, 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 blah.
Because the gravity of the device is great, so it's
Wonder if Rory Papu.
Physical time in the steak. Isn't that amazing? So each of these chrono steaks is completely unique, like snowflakes. And each of these time crystals, when eaten,
Wait, let me think.
just slows down the progression of the steak. It's not complete time stasis like the taste was, but it is just slowing the rate of the brain. So I think with this equipment forward, 30 seconds is about the equivalent of letting the steak come up to room temperature for about 30 minutes. Now I'm going to seal the steak. The times are a little bit different to that.
This.
The medium rare, you're probably only going to want to fry the steak for about 300 of a second.
Oh, yes.
Just need to flip this final safety switch. And the light will go from red to green, signifying that it's finally safe to get the steak out and cook it. And just have a look at the colour of these beautiful time crystals. Now the oil is up to temperature. Let's try the steak. And now we let the steak rest. Ready for eat. What colour is this?
Where is this nigga?
So first, I want to try a little bit without any. Oh, that is absolutely delicious. You guys like it before? Especially not gravity guys.
Nigger. Yo.
Let's be honest.
You need to run.
I know, shut up. Where is this shit? Oh no, laggity lag, man. Feel the power of the hickory. Whoa! I suck.
I was just back in the room. As an adult, I had an umbilical cord.
Take note.
What?
What is a light mode?
Oh. Fell off.
100-minute lapse.
Shall I have a crystal?
Turn to lobby. I found that too.
I think this time, rather than walk me back into the womb, the crystal has changed me back into a baby. But the effects have been rolled entirely to my head. I can still walk and talk like that. Strange feeling. Okay.
Tired.
Store myself. Crack on. Try this one.
Plug, 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 plug,
This crystal appears to have transported me to the point in time when I'm buried inside
plug,
my coffin.
plug, 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 plug. I'm looking around. Who the fuck are you, nigga? Oh yay! Har, har, yee, har, 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 yee, har, yee, har,
It's the beginning of my
har,
life.
har, yee,
And
har,
the end. Oh, and what's next?
har, har, yee, har. House of Cricket. Move, 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 move. In the path.
Developed a series of noses
Move,
on my face.
move,
Okay, so now my body
move.
is distributed and the human evolution in the future. AI has become so advanced
Nigga, move.
to trick all of our senses except for smell. Smell is the only thing that AI couldn't understand. So humans have evolved to outsmell AI. With a bunch more noses, I can smell in 3D. Like stinky soda. I'm basically dead.
I'm gonna practice, man. I'm gonna practice. Oh. Broken ankle. Uy, Mahoraga. Kabuing Mahoraga.
So, I think now this is me as a skeleton. This is exciting. I'm experiencing what it will feel like when my body has decomposed and only my
Oi.
bones are left. Feels
Get us up there, dude, now.
drafty. Honestly, I'm surprised at how Halloween decorations my bones look.
Whoa,
Not sure how long I'm stuck like
where
this.
is his ass? Where is his ass?
Now,
Where is his ass? Shit.
Ang San Miguel Pier, dealing with promo page. Itap ang joint campaign. Iscan ang alphanumeric code. More than 50 million in prizes. Ang
Nobody could see value like Eddie. He was one of the city's top antique dealers, and when he walked into the showroom, he somehow had a sixth sense for the item that cost thousands, if not more, at auction. If one man's trash was another man's treasure, then there was no greater treasure hunter than Eddie. Business had been slow lately, though, even with his agents searching all over for that next big-ticket item. That was the problem with dealing antiques. There was only ever so much history left to sell. The thought that the day might come when he was an old man hawking vintage fidget spinners and movies made him sick to his stomach. Until one of his agents contacted him with a promising lead.
Hey, Eddie.
I'm going to let's go to the radio. We'll have this cup and find out what they want.
Beautiful item. Love to refurbish it, maybe. Don't keep me in suspense. It's a baby carriage. Looks like pre-World War I. Glorious piece of machinery. Want me to grab it? Bring it back by the shop?
I'm down to my last life to win. I'm down to my last life. I'm gonna leave. No, get your ass down. Run, nigga. Nigga, where you going? Where's your ass going? Papers.
Monkey.
Oh shit. Live in the lobby, I guess. What the fuck? No! Why, hungry?
I think you could turn it into some real money, man. Couldn't hurt. Eddie didn't have his hopes up. That particular agent had brought some garbage before. Inauthentic items, cheap knockoffs. But it was worth a try, especially when things were so thin on the ground. He'd stay at the office for a few more hours, see if his agent brought him anything valuable. But his agent never turned up. Not a call, not even a text. That was unusual, even though this particular agent hadn't kept a great track record. He wasn't here. It was because something was wrong. Eddie drove to the nearby park and decided to search for his missing agent. The day was creeping towards its end. The sun was close. Didn't seem to be anyone else there. Strange. He tried calling his agent, but there was no response. Strangely, it was while he call that he heard a familiar ringtone. He found until he saw his agent's iPhone at the base of a tree, ringing. A spider web of cracks creeping across the screen. He felt this terrible pang of anxiety. That feeling seemed to melt away. Yes, the baby carriage, just as the agent had described it. Couldn't have been any later than 1930 in construction, and it certainly did look tattered. Tarnished metal, tires ripped in the basket and bonnet. It had a strange magnetic draw to it. The same magnetic draw towards the subscribe button right now. If you like to click it, so you have explorations of the anomalous by me. More subscription fees. Why not hit the bell too? It's the only way to ensure that you never miss another one of our videos. Just like Eddie had no intention of missing this baby carriage, the intoxicating antique almost instinctively grabbed it by the handle. And you know surged down the tranquil silence of the park, suddenly replaced by a loud sound echoing out from inside the carriage. The sight stole the breath out of Eddie's lungs. There was a baby in the carriage, a truly disturbing sight, a wretched, wounded thing, thin and shaking, looked starved, injured. Experienced such a deep sympathy for it, more than he knew anything else in life. He needed to soothe this baby, to bring it some form of comfort. He tried to force out comforting noises, walking in circles, pushing the carriage in a tight circle, in hopes that
Whoa!
as time passed,
Whoa!
the baby getting better.
Get your ass down, you coward.
The ashen skin, the swelling joints and brittle bones, the weight.
Wah!
As long as he helped the baby, he just needed to help the baby. Soon enough, the carriage was still as Eddie crumbled to dust behind it. It was pristine now. It would sell for thousands, and a beautiful, healthy baby sat inside. There's something uniquely cruel about SCP-382, known colloquially as the haunted baby carriage. There are a number of anomalies out there that leverage temptation to lure victims to their violent and disturbing deaths, using promises of money, sex, or wishes granted to steal away a person's life or even their immortal soul. 382 is different. It takes the most natural instinct in the world, the drive to protect a little human smaller and weaker than yourself, and kills you with it. At its most basic level, the anomaly is the carriage itself, a vintage collector's item created in the early 20th century in England. It appears to be in terrible condition, rusty with damaged tires and torn history. Sense that if you refurbished it, you'd be able to get a pretty penny off of it on the secondary market. And our friend in the opening case study found out the hard way that the risk really didn't equal the reward. Most people have seen enough horror movies that they wouldn't feel the drive to naturally approach a post-Victorian baby carriage in a state of disrepair, but when observed directly, the carriage has a frighteningly powerful cognitohazardous effect. Again, I must stress that this is only the case when you directly view the carriage in physical space. After all, what benefit does it the carriage enters your sightline? If you haven't changed your cognitohazardous resistance level, feel a strong desire to approach the carriage and get a closer look. Even if you know in your heart one or the other. Once you break this, you'll soon find yourself reaching out to the bars. You might even hear the sound of the time inside the carriage already. Secondary anomalous effect will begin. A baby will manifest inside the carriage. One in the expressive state.
Whoa! 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 Whoa!
And neglect, burbling and weeping in the dark of the carriage.
Oh, it's you.
People lucky enough to have survived the experience.
Finger jigs.
In a manner not dissimilar to the monumental shift in priorities people experience upon becoming parents, they report that their mind reorders itself in order to put this pitiful creature on the ultimate pedestal. Their grip around the carriage has become bone-crushingly tight. They begin to carriage around in circles, gently the baby within.
Jerk. 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 Whoa. Hey. Oh, bro. Oh, fuck. Hey, bro. Wow! You are not catching my ass. Whoa! Where is your ass going? Siya patay ng GBB kaya di ko magla ng Rocket League.
All this time, they were doing.
User checks! User checks! User checks! He's a hacker! He's a hacker! I mean...
And as the life force of the brain, the baby and the carriage are supposed to be over time. The rust will begin to flake and fall off the chassis of the carriage, revealing beautiful underneath. The tires on the carriage
Whoa!
the carriage will transform.
There's no carrying me!
The cushion to support the baby will appear.
Whoa! Ah! No jump scare!
Neglect will simply wash away. Even previously inconsolable sobbing from the carriage will be replaced by cheerful giggling. If you are one of them, you won't be so cheerful at this point. You'll look around 40 older than you started. Those will appear to have been extreme. Wrinkled, oversized skin, and eyes that seem to communicate in almost
Get out of my skin.
Felt that you've been walking this unfortunate baby around for decades, when in actuality,
Whoa! Shoot!
eventually, inevitably, dies, the carriage will vanish. Defense mechanism to prevent it from ever being of the previous victim. Over the course of half an hour, all of the improvements made to the carriage and the baby within will revert back to the same decrepit and damaged state and attract its next victim. The image of the baby will flicker throughout this process. This led many here at the Foundation to speculate that this part of the anomaly was just some kind of hologram created to lure in victims for the carriage itself. Our later studies would find out that
Hey, bro!
this was not.
Chill!
Foundation
Hey,
researchers
bro!
like a ship captain endeavoring to find every rock in the harbor at the bottom of his boat. As soon as both eyewitness accounts and initial tests seemed to confirm that nobody had survived more than 2 hours of contact with the SCP-382 carriage, researchers immediately began pondering on whether the right circumstances could be created to make it longer. Clear an anomalous individual to make contact with the carriage, but
Hey, bro!
ah! The next step was
Yalla, bro!
someone with more life force than the carriage.
Yalla, bro!
Led them to a D-class named Jim Randall. Before being convicted on 2 counts of murder for the killings of his young wife and the man he believed she was having an affair with, he's been a personal trainer with an impeccable level of physical fitness. He maintained this fitness regimen in the prison gym before being headhunted by the Foundation as a member of D-class personnel. His impressive physical health, plus the fact that he was still only in his mid-20s, made him an candidate for the latest SCP-382 experiment. He was brought into the testing chamber, approached the carriage and grab it by the handle. Thanks to the anomalous effects of the carriage, he didn't actually need to hold. Pushed and grabbed it before doing exactly what everyone else did. In a circle with the carriage, proving and muttering comforting words to the seemingly injured baby inside. Then, as the researchers started the stopwatch, the degradation took place. As everyone had seen so many times before, this began losing muscle definition and physical coordination. It was a disturbing thing to see a young man who worked so hard to kill himself over so many years getting drained away by the moments like a Capri Sun. However, Foundation researchers had long since learned to harden their heart against science like this. But it did seem at least as though the Foundation's hypothesis was hang on. At the rate that Jim was living, it looked like he'd survive at least a little longer than 2 hours. And really, how could they have known that one man's inordinate
Yo,
survival as the calls were closing in, Jim
Where's the
looked
cricket?
like he drank in the wrong bread, an almost mummified rocking foot, lumbering forwards and trying to keep up his careful death march. The cells had returned to its pristine condition, and the baby was happy and healthy. Nobody had ever seen the anomaly in such good condition while its victim was still alive. Even fewer people were expecting what would happen. There was a horrendous wailing sound coming from the testing chamber that Jim didn't seem to register. He just kept walking as the carriage rattled and shook. Something was happening to the baby. It started twisting and swelling, its limbs stretching out, the trunk of its body extending, its head getting bigger and bigger, until it looked like a huge gripping face.
Foundation scares
Mouth
me.
lined with shark-like fangs. As the researchers pressing the panic button to call in the guards and mobile task forces, the baby clamped its jaws around Jim Randall's head. It began choking down the unfortunate video, until only the teeth were disappearing down its throat. The baby was still hungry and could sense that there were other potential meals nearby. The months afterwards, even the one who worked with hospital entities before, several burst in after that. Baby. It sustained damage until its body flickered away, appearing as its regular, sick, emaciated form in the now damaged crib. It was a lesson hard earned. Nobody should be fed to this entity, and crucially, if it does end up feeding anyone, it's vital that they be dead within 2 hours to avoid a replay of this particular event. But navigating it hasn't affected the carriage's Euclid
Yo.
because the Cognito has with this anomaly, we can only hope that there aren't other
Hello.
lurking in the dark.
This is
It's generally a good place to hope you don't get punished for it. SCP-674, the exposition gun makes Nintendo real life. For more on how the anomalous can hide behind the enemy.
Whoa. Yeah.
Dr. Brasco always hated coming to the institution. It stank of pain and fear and desperation. Her sensible shoes. Her nostrils. She wanted to believe there was hope for everyone. She worked in psychology long enough now to know that for many, this place was little more than a prison. Brasco stopped at the end of a long hallway. She could smell him through the door. Advanced hydrophobia, refused to bathe, refused to shower, refused even a bucket of water and a wet rag. He'd been a stockbroker a few weeks ago, and a pretty successful one, until a complete mental breakdown had gotten him committed. Now, at the behest of Emily, she needed to reach him.
No bad.
So, James, I hear you've been having some trouble.
No, I'm stocking because
With
the
a warm
one
smile.
going to play this game with
He
the
looked
damage
The photo she an upstanding man in a suit with a square jaw.
there and the
Nothing like the
rest
dithering, bearded rack sitting a few feet from him.
here.
Dry. Now quiet. He's hungry. Dr. Braxton.
I'm leaving.
Used to be it pronoun was an interesting one. A group, some kind of supernatural entity. Textbook signs of paranoid psychosis. What's hungry, James?
Whoa!
He shook his head. You don't want to know.
Whoa!
What?
Whoa! Look gay!
Don't want that at all. It wouldn't be the first time she'd heard
Heart.
like this. They say a problem shared is a problem
Goodbye,
divided,
street.
James, she said. There's nothing that you could say that could hurt me, upset me, offend me, sure, but words can't actually wound. He gave a broken smile, like he might actually want to believe that. He'd been carrying this terrible burden, this fear, for weeks now. Maybe he could tell her